All right, so that was Yash Jain in conversation with the LIC chairman. Moving on, the government is mulling to hand over the probe into the abuse of FAME subsidies to investigating agency. Sources say legal opinion has been sought on how to proceed with the probe on alleged misappropriation of subsidies. The government has already suspended subsidies for Hero Electric and Okinawa. Subsidies worth 750 crore rupees to about 12 companies is currently on hold. The government could even ask the companies to refund the money if irregularities are found. And speaking of EVs, we caught up with several EV makers at the e-mobility event in Hyderabad. Here's their outlook on government policies and growth.
I strongly believe that public transport needs a push for another 2-3 years because it has just started and it needs some impetus for viability gap funding and also on the surety of payment mechanism. Till these two comes into picture, I would still expect government to support in public transport.
I think, when we looked at the phase 1 of the PLI scheme, which has been already announced and winners have been selected, it came with certain constraints even when the market is not ready. In India, the electric mobility is, the adoption is happening at the low end of the value chain of the vehicles. It's the two-wheelers, it's the three-wheelers that seem to be, adopting electrification a lot more than before we get to passenger vehicles. And they are very cost-sensitive markets. But if you have to deliver what's mentioned on the electrical performance of the cells, there is a certain amount of technology premium that need to be paid. Right now, there is a visibility under PLI for about 30 gigawatt hour. And I personally feel that that's not enough to create that scale. So another tranche of PLI will be definitely helpful, but this time have the PLI defined from a market orientation rather than trying to create too many constraints for bidders to take. For example, in the case of Amar Raja, we have decided to go ahead and create a gigafactory facility, even when we are not successful with phase 1 of PLI. So we know our roadmap very clearly. Now, if there is another tranche of PLI coming in, we would look at whether that's dovetailing into some of the strategic roadmap we created for us. If it is dovetailing, we'll be very encouraged to participate.
All right, time for a short break, but coming up, an exclusive interview with Coca-Cola's President of International Development on the company's India strategy, demand picture, and much more.
When our big boss was MD,